Alright, today, like I said, we're going to go the perception. Alright, so let's just get right into this. Let's not waste any time because I want to make this video as short as possible for you guys. Alright, so let's go ahead and start off. Awareness increases VATS accuracy. We all know that. That also works for PvE and PvP, but it's not great. There is some uses in PvP, but it's very, very, very slim. Battle for me is nice. I like it. I don't really like bows that much for PvP. To me, they don't do enough. They're like a good backup weapon. So if you have like an LMG and a bow, yeah, it can be positive, or handmade, or whatever you're using, it can be useful. But other than that, nah. Butcher's Bounty, if you do farm food, this is indispensable. But this is the best card, along with one more that I prefer on every single build. So Cinematicus, obviously any ballistic weapon, whether it's Gauss, whether it's a Gauss rifle, Gauss minigun, handmade, whatever, this will always do more damage, flat out. I don't care what you're using, at all times. Any ranged weapon will be positive. Pistols, etc. Anything. Always use this card in your build. Always, always, always. Concentrate Fire, if you're using VATS, yeah. If you're not using VATS, this is a dead card. This is something you don't need. It doesn't do much more damage for you, so I would not worry with it. I've used it before, and it seems to perform well. Like, it's okay, but there's better cards for any build you use. There's always going to be better cards if you're not using VATS. Always. Crash Shot is actually really, really good for a free game. Like V63, you know that. For example, handmade, Elder's Mark. This thing is a freaking must-use because this thing will give you more range. So those 110s can reach a little bit further and you're a little bit more accurate. You do have to aim down sights to get that accuracy, but there's times you may have to aim down sight to get more accuracy if you have more range. So I would say yes, 1000%. If you're going to use free aim, use this card the best you can. And try to put this in your build. Promise you, it's great. Deal Sealer is great with any build that does DOT. So this works not only with a flamer or the center, what was it, cremator, any ranged weapons that does that, any range, it also works. However, bows obviously being obviously. However, this also works if you're using a sheep squat staff, if you're using a warglaive, anything that does DOT, anything, not range, anything will benefit from this. Anything. Okay, just keep that in mind. DOT weapon of any kind, use this card. It will automatically do more damage. Alright, Downranger is good for PvE. However, for PvP, it's very niche, and there's a better card than this for most builds that I've ever seen, that I've ever used. Yes, you can do more range damage, but if you're already hitting your 110s, who cares? Like, there's better cards than this, I promise you. And it works great for PvE. PvP wise, it's a decent card, but it's not really a must use. So FYI. This can be useful in PvP. It can be. I just don't really use it that much because there's other cards that are better in builds. But as far as like in general use, yes, this great. So yeah, I mean, if you have movement speed cards, which I do normally use, yeah, it's going to increase your reload speed. But I do also use high capacity guns like more often than not. So like, LMG, quad handmade, even Elder's Mark without quad is 75 rounds with Wild West hands. You don't really reload as much, so very niche, very good, very niche card. Fortune Finder, it's just cap stash. If you need caps, I mean, Lord might. Not exactly the hardest thing to find. This, I've used it, but it's kind of a redundant card because, yeah, you do 60% more damage at full stack to a glowing enemy, but, I mean, I guess it could be useful in PvE. PvP wise, no. PvE could be useful with two other cards mixed, which is Center Masochist or Number Cruncher, and then you can put in Grenadier, Awareness, etc. if you're going to use VATS or no VATS, if you're going to use Explosive. But it's a very niche card, so I wouldn't even stress it that hard. Green Thumb, obviously, if you're collecting any kind of plants anyway, you know how it works. Super, super easy. It's twice as much as Harvesting Flora, so if you're trying to make Nuka-Cola Dark, you're trying to make Mountain Honey, you're trying to make vodka, whatever it may be, whatever thing you're trying to create, especially even food-wise. If you're harvesting for your food, let's say you're getting starlight berries for a tasty mutant house stew, and you need use this. There is actually a Starlight Berry route. There is a Snaptail route that I use. I use Snaptail still. Starlight Berries aren't really harvest anymore. I always buy my food straight from the refuge or from Yasmin. So, but it can be useful, especially for alcohol. Like personally for alcohol, it's a great card. But that's just something you use for crafting. Grenadier, obviously, if you're going to use any explosive weapon, anything at all, whether it be Gauss, whether it be an explosive V63 or explosive LMG or whatever is going to have explosive on it, this will benefit you highly. Obviously, this is a very straightforward card, and grenades obviously as well. They actually, this is a must-have for grenades. If you're going to use grenades in any way, PvE or PvP wise, you should be using this card. There's no reason not to use this card. Alright, Ground Pounder. This is good. And I will say in PvP this is really good because you can use the hipfire accuracy and the reload faster, which can be super beneficial. So if you don't, you can use this or the other one, which was, I can't remember. I'm so done. Crack Shot. Obviously you can use either one of these, but this one does give you more range. And obviously this one gives you more hipfire accuracy. So it's kind of up to you. If your gun has range, you don't need Crack Shot. If you don't need, Ground Pounder, excuse me. If you need more range, like if your gun ain't quite getting the range you think it should get, yes, obviously use that one over this one. But this could be beneficial for both. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of my fighting, I don't aim down sight. To be fair, I really don't aim down sight much at all. So this one actually can be super thing. But here's another thing. That does not affect LMGs, big guns. So it's very niche, handmade. Obviously handmade, Elder's Mark, etc. Those benefit from that. Nothing else, like as far as like PvP wise. Hat trick is the quickest way to get killed if you're a PvEer. If you're doing this and there's griefers around and you're in the thing, you will get hit back because you're going to hit them. You could be shooting an enemy, they could be standing 15 feet away. It's going to hit them too, and then they're going to come kill you. So this is up to you. But PvE wise, great card PvE wise. PvP wise, not great because all you're gonna do is aggro a bunch of people to yourself. So if you're fighting somebody like me and Codename Cat was fighting each other like a little sparring match, and I was doing this, I will be hitting everybody around us. That's for PvE only. PvP wise, it's redundant. Master Archer, yeah, those are not bad. They're really good for thrown objects, by the way. Really good for that. Arrows, obviously, yeah, but this is more beneficial for a thrown object. So, like Sheep Squat Shards, which do poison, this is way more beneficial to it than anything else, in my personal opinion, for PvP wise. PvE wise, yeah, I mean, if you're going to use bow build, you might as well use this card. Nut Eyes, it's a dead card. It don't do anything really for you, PvE or PvP wise. You get better vision. But I mean, other than that, that's all it does. It's a junk card. Obviously, this card is only good for really only PvE, and it's more for XP grinding. So that's a pretty well-known card, and that's about all it's really good for. Like your PvP build should already have you at max intelligence, or at least close to max intelligence, which is 30 to 35, by the way, for like an energy rifle. You need between 30 and 35 intelligence to do the most damage from science. So like, as a PvE card, that's about it. This is the best fucking card this whole build has, like any build for perception. This card right here is amazing. This card works for any weapon, just like the Deal Stealer for DOT. This son of a bitch works for any weapon, no matter what it is. It could be range, it could be melee, it don't matter what card, I don't care what weapon it is, it will increase damage. So like a lot of melees, they're usually around 35 to 40 AP. That's about norm. So like the Sheep's Course, I believe it's 40 if I remember off the top of my head correctly. So now taking this thing, so it's 40 AP. So you get 2% increased damage per AP cost. That's 80% damage from one card. One. Now it works for Sheep Squatch, it works for the Handmade, it works for any damn weapon you put in your hands. I don't care what it is. Anything. It also works for grenades. It also works for sheep shards and meat cleavers. It will increase their base damage as well if you're holding that weapon in your hand. Literally, this is the best card in Perception, and it should be on every single build you do. I don't care what it is. Whether it's pistols, Gauss mini rifles, sheep squad, staff, Horglaive, it don't matter. Any build at all. That card should be on. Even if you have lowered AP cost, it doesn't matter. You're still going to gain more damage from that card than damn near any other card in this build. The only one that can even obviously compete with it is Cinematicus. So if you take Cinematicus and Number Cruncher, because Cinematicus, you do have to be a projectile weapon. It has to shoot something. It can't be a melee. So it has to be thrown, shot, something. So obviously like bows, obviously are projectiles as well. But those two coupled together, even when in decreased AP costs, like negative 35, you're still going to do a massive amount of damage. So just keep that in mind. If you're building any build, number one card you put on is that. That's the number one card. You put that card on before you put on any other card. Free aim, vast, don't matter. That card. 100%. Obviously, these are just, you're just looking for magazines. You're looking for baubles, pick lock. These are kind of a dumb card, to be honest. Like, any pick lock to me is redundant. And here's why. I can go up here. I can take off Perception. I can slide over to Master Infiltrator. Now, obviously mine's fully unlocked. So, like, any lock pick, I can just instantly unlock. However, if your lock pick is a 1 star, yes, it won't automatically unlock the 0, like, skill. However, it will allow you to lockpick it. Like, you will literally have to go in, like Skyrim and this one and all, like, you have to go through the little mini game of actually putting it on. But that's it. Like, those cards are completely redundant. The only way I don't use that card is if you're going to, like, kill your, like, you're going to go back through your build and figure out what you did wrong or what cards you're missing. But if you do builds enough, you'll remember, like, just take off certain cards. Like, you don't need 5 points. So, like, take off Number Cruncher and Cinematicus off your build, and then you can put that card on, unlock it, take it back off, put them cards right back on. There you go. Lock's picked. So, like, these cards are kind of redundant. Like, because even if you put all these on, if you have Master Fair unlocked fully, even if you put all these cards on, you still have to pick the lock. Well, that wouldn't Master. You don't have to pick the lock at all. You just done. So, like, these cards are kind of dumb. They're once you have Master Fair full out, these are useless cards. I don't even know why I have them. Honestly, I think I just unlocked them from doing level ups and stuff like that. Literally, that's it. Rad Reaver, it's okay. Like, PvP wise, it's a dead card. Honestly, you're not going to hit somebody that much. It's not going to have positive returns. PvE wise, yeah, it could be. Like, it could help you, not by a massive amount, but it does have, to me, it's diminishing returns. Returns are not enough for what you get back from it. So, it used to do more damage, and back then that was awesome, but now it's like, dead card. PvP-wise, it's a dead card. You don't need it. Like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, you don't need it. I mean, you don't. PvE-wise, you don't really need it either. I mean, you can use it, but there's other cards that are better for any build, no matter what it is. So, like, I think that card's dead. Now, these are different. Scope weapons, you get more range, obviously, so like a Gauss rifle, yeah. Well, that's it. But it has to have a scope, not a red dot, a scope. So you need like a short scope or night vision scope, anything like that actually is a scope, not a hollow sight, not like a little sight like the regular reflex sight. It has to be an actual scope. So unless you're doing like free aim with long range rifles, which is hey, if you like it, ain't nothing wrong with that. I've done it before. It's fun. However, that's all it's useful for. That's it. This card is amazing for small guns. So pistols, obviously the LMGs and the cryolators and the Gauss minigun, they are not involved in this card. However, any weapon that's small guns, which is like I said, Elder's Mark, Handmade, etc., V63, better spread. Like this, if you're free aiming guns, you better be using this card. This card is a must for free aim. Like, especially with Arms of Steel, it is a must. The V63, you don't need Arms of Steel or you don't need Skeet Shooter. To be honest, I would prefer Skeet Shooter over Arms of Steel for the V63 because the arm steel reduces the recoil. This one gives better spread and accuracy, so it does better than what that card does and more. So like, I would definitely prioritize this card for the V63 build, specifically for that one gun, over the armor steel. Armor steel and this for any other gun, like obviously like, you know, a handmade or Elsmark. You definitely want to use both those cards to really pull that bloom in and be shooting really, really straight. Just FYI. Smart shot. I mean, it's free aim, obviously. If you're using this hunting rifle, Gauss rifle, yeah, it's just weak point damage. Honestly, that's not that great. Even the card itself is not that great, because here's why. There's other cards you can use in that place. You can use Number Cruncher and Center Masochist, Tormentor, and Tank Killer, and you're talking about 14 points, right? No, not 14, excuse me. That is 10 points, right? So, like, I mean, yeah, you could use it, or you could use, I mean, if you're going to aim, actually aim, yeah, I mean, I guess, but I mean, like, even then, it's not that much more damage. Like, you can get more damage off Reverse Onslaught than that. With, say, a Furious, I mean, like a carbine rifle, you would get more damage out of stacking your points than Agility. If you want to spread your points around more, you're better off doing Reverse Onslaught and Gorilla Perks and Gunslinger Perks that are specifically for Onslaught than this card. Between those other cards of Perception and Onslaught, you'll get way more damage than these 3 points that are kind of dead. You know what I'm saying? It's just not worth it. This actually can be useful, because you can not use Skeet Shooter in your build, for example. So if you're using range and you really like to play that way, by the way, PvE, forget PvP with these cards. These cards right here, I want to make sure we understand that. These two cards are useless, and this one as well. PvP wise, they're not fucking useful at all. They're not going to give you anything better, because you actually have to aim down scope. So if you never really played PvP much, I'm guessing you probably have if you watch my channel, but if you haven't, if you're new, if you aiming down a scope, brother, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's hard to keep up with people who are moving constantly. And you're fighting somebody who's good, they're gonna be moving constantly. Hang it up. This card's dead. PvE wise, actually can be nice. I mean, it's according to what you want to do, but PvE long range, yeah, that card actually can be super useful. And just be honest, it can be. And I will say this, if you're going to do that, I would probably put it with this, because you have more range than this. So like a free aim PvE mode, yeah, scoped up and sniper, I would definitely work together. And you can still use Tank Killer, Tormentor, Number Cruncher, and Center Masochist. And you'll still have more than enough points to put this. And on top of that, because that's 10 points, that's 13 points. So if you have 15 points of Perception, you can put on a Grenadier Type 2, so if you're shooting a single fire weapon, I would say this, if you're shooting single fire, I would prioritize explosive damage over anything else, especially in free aim. Explosive is about the only real one you really want to use. You can use crit if you're VATSing, but if you're VATSing, this card and this card are done. They're pointless, because you have to aim. Like, so, you have to aim. It's not VATS, it's aiming. So it's a very niche build, but just for that build, if you want to do a free aim, long range build, scoped up and sniper are probably two ones I would prioritize along with the other ones. Obviously Number Cruncher, Center Masochist being the top two, and obviously these two are good with any range weapons. These two right here, honestly, you should definitely be using these in any ranged weapon at all. Like I said, pistols, Elder's Mark, I don't care what it is, 100% use those. So like most of my builds when it comes to fighting, especially PvP wise, is Center Masochist, Number Cruncher, Tank Killer, and Tormentor. Those four, so these two right here, and Center Masochist and Number Cruncher, are always in my build. Always, always, always. So that means there's 10 points allotted gone. So at most I have is 5 points to work with. So say Ground Pounder and Skeet Shooter and all that, Deal Sealer, they all have their own places. Like, you could technically not use this. It's according to what build you're going for. So for like single fire, this is not really necessary, but it's good. But it's not necessary. So if you need points spread out somewhere else, you don't actually have to have that. But if you're going to use range, my personal opinion, number cruncher, center masochist, tank killer. No question. I don't care if you're vaccine or no vaccine, don't matter. Those 3 cards. So just make sure we understand. I want to make sure this is very obvious to you because this is extremely important. Let's go center masochist there. These 3 cards should be in every single build for range you do. Every single one. Obviously, this for any build you do. No matter what it is. Any build. So, just FYI, make sure you're using that card. And other than that, that's pretty much the bulk of that. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty easy for perception because there's certain cards, obviously, as I've gone over, that are a must. But everything else is really up to you, what weapon you use, and whether it's VATS or no VATS, it's really up to you. It's heavy, light, small guns, etc. Like it's really up to you. And you really need to cater your build to whatever you're doing. So like I said, Deal Sealer, if you're doing any kind of weapon that does DOT, like, yeah, 100% use this card. Like, always use that card. So, like I said, it's up to you. What build you're doing, just think about, okay, what am I trying to do? Like, what damage I'm trying to do? What am I trying to push through? How much damage I'm trying to accumulate over time? So, like, whether it's free aim or not, especially free aim, I can contest the free aim all day. Always use cards that are connected to your weapon or weapons. I mean, you could do Cryolator, and Cryolator has been if I bit by Deal Sealer because it is an impairment. It is part of bleed, poison, fire, and cryo. That's the 4 impairments. So any of those impairments, it will benefit. So a Cryolator will benefit from this. And you don't need Skeet Shooter with a Cryolator, which obviously is a heavy gun, to be fair, but still, like, you small in your spread ain't gonna matter. So Arms of Steel is not necessary for a Cryolator, for example. It shoots really straight, unless you use the balls, which, to be fair, if you're using the snowballs, you really need VATS. I mean, you could do okay in free aim, but it's it's got a lot of recoil. But yeah, that's pretty much it for perception, guys. Like, any other card that you would like me to go over in the comment section, or anything that I need to touch on that maybe I didn't bring up for you personally, just let me know. And that's it. So again, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. And of course, Endurance is next, and that'll be up within the next 2 days. So yeah, see you on the next one, guys. And thanks for watching.